Yeah, it was Ice Cube. It was Ice Cube. Same.
But also, when I saw
Don't
Dogg,
fuck with Ice Cube like that. That's my guy.
Why do you think I picked on? What do you think of this new trend that's been happening over the last couple of months, where like
probably gonna hate it.
Hip hop stars are or R&B singers are moving into country? I think Post Malone did a country album.
Yep.
And I also think Beyonce did a country album.
But he's hitting on the fucking the hostess.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, she's like, I'm gonna be 18 next week. He looks like he goes, we don't have much time then.
He's a Korean pop star.
Oh, I know.
It's Gundam Style. You know what Gundam Style is about? It's about bestiality.
It is called the horse dance. You're gonna see an Owen Hart if that thing goes wrong.
Yeah, man. The only other time
fuck.
I've seen like the wrestling world as crazy as it was when Owen Hart died was when Benoit died.
Yeah.
Benoit.
Why do I do this show?
I saw
He's like, it was going so good.
I saw it.
It was going so good. We
Sounds-
got LED lighting. This is the first time he's back since it's changed color.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't watch on YouTube. I don't really want to see you.
Oh, you're back in the you're back in the red and black days.
Yeah.
He's one of the OGs, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he did do the whole guitar solo.
Yeah. In like 30 seconds flat. He came ready for like a long 12-hour session to come up with theme music. He's like, we're like, that's it. It's perfect. Thank you. He's like, what? I didn't even crack open a beer yet.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we could get a Megadeth inspired guitar solo and change it up.
Hey, there we go.
That was pretty insane.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
Nice.
That might be the best guitar I've ever heard live.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking wild.
I was really happy to see, because, I mean, I've seen Dave Mustaine just give speeches in the last few years, and I'm like, I would imagine, it's just getting sloppier speech, older in age. You know,
He
drink a lot.
Nice.
So I was like, his guitar playing would probably match. No, it was awesome.
He's not at Ozzy levels yet.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, Megadeth was fucking wild.
But there's something to that, right? Like that muscle memory. Because we even see like old Jujiteros where like they could barely walk on and off the mat.
Yeah.
But you start rolling with them and you're like, what the fuck?
You hear the ding of the bell go off and all of a sudden they're fucking moving.
Yeah. It's something that kicks into the body.
Muscle memory.
Yes. Before we get into it, welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your host, Nelson.
Oh, man.
Ed.
And our very special guest, returning customer.
Hi,
The
Matt.
man playing the guitar you're listening to right now.
Fucking killed it
Listen
when he
to
did
him.
it too. I'm telling you. Go ahead, listen.
Listen to
I anticipated. I remember I showed up with like 5 ideas. I'm like, do you want it more like this? And I didn't even get to say or. You're like, no, that's good. All right. You want to hear the other 5? Nope.
You know what it is when it comes to music, sometimes when you just knock it out the park and you hear it, you're like, yep, that's it. Don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Because then you start getting a different hodgepodge of
You were like-
something you didn't really want.
You were like Axl Rose and Slash just coming in high on heroin. Sweet child of mine at 3 a.m. Yes, that one.
Had a cooler of beer, got through half of one. He's like, we're done?
We're done? Yeah.
It's funny though.
We probably should have let him get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And then see what like he came up with. Like that's the one.
This is true.
I'm proud of the outro music.
Yes.
Because like I think sometimes the hardest thing is to not overplay.
Yes.
And when I was like, let me just do the riff a couple times, and then I'm like, let the drum kick for a little bit, because I picture you talking. So every time I hear that, I'm like, I actually like how that sounds. I didn't overplay on that. Step back.
Yeah.
And it sounds great. It sounds great,
man.
both of it. So,
It's nice to have something to play us in, play us out.
yes. Welcome back. So you guys were talking about Megadeth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went. Me and Matthew here went to a concert last night.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Took my daughter, and it was awesome because she's a guitar player as well.
Nice.
And we met up with. There's a local band. If you ever get a chance to check them out, they're called Maximum Friction.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It's
something I'm a big fan of in both my love life and jiu-jitsu.
Well, it's going to be really weird to tell you that the guitar player is 14 years old and the bassist is 16.
Oh wow, I'm not that Ted Nugent.
Female bassist.
Love you, Ted, wherever you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Jasmine is an amazing female bassist and singer, and Jaden is the guitarist. He's 14 now, I think, but he plays. So Holy Wars.
Yeah.
At the end, Holy Wars is a big Megadeth song where the 2 guitarists just basically trade off solos
Back
at the
and
end
forth.
for about 2 straight minutes.
Yeah.
They play that live as a 3-piece. He plays both the guitar parts.
No shit.
First time I saw it, he was 11.
So like a
That's
little bit
wild.
of
Where do they perform around
Dude, you
here?
got Matthews Brewery, I think. That'd be a great spot to catch him. But
I wouldn't
follow,
mind going to see that. That's,
go.
dope.
Holy Wars is not an
they,
easy song to
They
play.
just added Domination. They play the full breakdown and everything.
They play Dimebag Darrell's
Yes.
riff from Domination.
Yes, but the
Okay.
heaviest
And how old
breakdown
is
of
this
all
kid?
time.
How's this kid?
I think he's now 14. So he was at the show last night
How
too.
fucking a 14-year-old kid play Dimebag Darrell's
Dude,
Well, I mean,
he's-
Dimebag
he's
Darrell
into it.
as a
He
kid
loves
was
it.
a savant on the guitar
Right.
himself.
Like,
so,
yeah, but
Yeah.
I
I mean, they were kicking him out. They're like, you can't keep coming to competitions.
yeah.
Stop.
No,
Yeah.
he was literally legendary. Yeah, like,
That's sick.
we saw Zach Wilde play
Oh, yeah.
with Pantera now
Yeah.
as a tour, and Zach Wilde is a fantastic guitarist. But that even being said, when he's up there playing,
Yeah.
it's not Daryl.
No, it's not.
As good as Zach
right,
Wilde
right.
is, you're watching it and you're going, that's still not Daryl.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
There's a little something that's
Give you some
not,
credit,
not
but-
there.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
plays
It's like
the
watching
notes.
LeBron play, and you're going, it's still not Jordan. It's good.
Two biggest.
You're good.
Oh damn.
The biggest differences between those two. I mean, he hit all the right notes, but Dimebag would a lot of times like he'd hit one and then just hammer on to the next two with like one hand.
I had to show last night after the concert.
Hey!
Oh wait,
Let there be light.
Jesus,
You are white. What?
Holy shit. Oh,
get him out of here!
Actually, you know
I
what?
feel scared.
You're looking pretty fucking tan, bro.
Well, I've been doing a lot of running.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wore
I
my
can
short
see it.
shorts today. I don't know if you can see that on YouTube.
Doing your Magnum PI shorts.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
I'm
That's
not
nice.
getting any younger. I gotta
No.
get these thighs.
You got
out.
to fight against it.
Oh,
You got
fighting
to
against
keep
it.
fighting against it.
But like last night after the concert, we were driving home, and I was like, "You've never like," I was telling Sierra, I was like, "You've never heard like Domination by Dimebag Darrell?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Hold on." So like I played the actual like excerpt from the concert in Russia, like right before Metallica went on.
Right.
And it's just it's fucking it's
nasty.
heavier than a meteorite metal.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Like
That's awesome,
he
man.
was one of a kind.
Again, that breakdown is not overplaying.
No.
To
Yeah.
just go with the drum. Dun, 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 dun,
It,
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun,
It makes you
dun,
want to
dun,
kill it. It makes you want to kill when you listen to it.
You know, there's no extra
We'll play it.
notes.
We'll play it after the.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Sure.
It's one of the
So
heaviest
everybody can
pieces
get
of
it.
music I've
Actually,
ever
I played the guitar.
Oh yeah.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Just the red button.
On easy.
Or just a bunch of green buttons over and over again. You're like, fuck yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Here
Though.
I am.
Rock Band game bullshit that it was a lot of fun to
It's a lot
fucking
of
play.
fun.
Yep.
And it introduced me to a whole bunch of music I didn't even know I was gonna love.
Right.
But playing Rock Band, I was like, holy shit, how come I've never heard these songs? And then so credit to Rock Band for that shit. I'm
Right.
sad that it's actually gone because it was a fun
And I
fucking
didn't know
game.
that
Yeah.
those were all, there's no original recordings. They re-recorded all
Yeah,
of those so
yeah.
that they could mix in and out of the guitar like what they wanted.
It's
But
so
they did
cool.
such a good job with the tones of the guitar and the drums. And I mean, there's a Queen song on there that I was like, I didn't really think
I
about.
wonder if you have to do the vocals for that.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, this was just the
The only song I could sing is
introduced the
Roxanne.
rest of the band. And we wish you wouldn't.
I was about to go into it.
No, hit it, hit it. Come on, let's go.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was the band we listened to last time.
Oh, Mudvayne?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was good.
Mudvayne was good. Believe it or not, I don't know how that man like still has vocal cords.
Oh,
He's been doing that for 20 years. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, they
you are
practice
There's
it,
a
right?
there's a technique,
There's a technique.
to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yes.
it's not without the microphone. I'm learning more about it because when I sing, a lot of times I'll blow my voice out, but I don't play that often, so I'm like, well, that's okay.
Yeah, right.
But
Wait, you blow your voice out singing Sweet Caroline?
yeah,
Sweet Caroline.
dude, they are. You'll be surprised.
There's
I'm
there's a YouTube channel, Charismatic Voice, and she's actually an opera singer, but she's been studying all the metal singers and getting interviews with them, and even has gotten where they'll do the vocals and they'll put the camera down the throat so they could see
Oh, I gotta
what
check that
is
out.
the
Thank
function
you.
that they're using for the different sounds and everything.
shit.
Oh, wow.
It's really interesting, and she's building up money for more research to do it with more people because different people have different techniques.
that's probably a field that a lot of people haven't put a lot of time and money
yeah,
into.
because there are some
Yeah.
people that after like 2 years, they're blown out their voice. They can't do anything. And then you got
Yeah.
other people like Mudvayne where they're 20, 30 years on.
And the way he sounds like you're slaughtering a pig.
Did
like
you-
that dude's destroying his
Did you
vocal
see
cords.
it
Destroying
wild.
three quarters of the way through the set when he put the mic down to his waist and went, yeah?
and you could still hear him.
Yeah, and you could. I mean,
Bro, I'm in the fucking lawn.
That's crazy.
I was like, what the
volume? Because that's unusual.
Well,
Lane-
that's-
He was yelling, "I want more!" And like, everyone up in the lawn's going, "Holy fuck, like, we can hear you!"
I could tell. I was walking, looking for you at that point, and I was like, "That's what made me turn around." Because I go, it was quieter, but then I'm like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, I look, and Mike is down here.
That's
He's fucking
wild.
screaming, and like, I'm like,
I was
bro.
like, "Wow!"
It's like a muscle, right?
Projection.
The way he uses it, the way he probably treats it after each concert. He probably has a system of, teas and honeys or whatever that he does to relax his vocal
There's a
cords.
handful of actual vocal specialists. Melissa Cross, I think, is the one that started it, dealing with metal singers and how to protect your voice and the proper way to use the false chords and the upper glottal and not just the vocal fold, so you're not burning your voice out.
Yeah.
And you're done with the concert, you can walk off, you can talk. You're not like
Spitting
blood. Like,
Yeah.
Do you want
was
to be my
almost-
vocal coach?
huh?
Do you want to be my vocal coach?
I know that the principles in theory. It's different in practice.
Yeah.
What's wild is like when he would sing, he had a great voice. Like his voice was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he would just go into this like savage gutter, and like the one song I don't think I ever heard it. It might have been called "Soil," the one with the extra green light up there. Like it was amazing how his voice went through. He was hitting everything.
Yeah.
Like he would go high, and then he would go into this growl, and I was like, dude, like.
Well, there's a lot more control that has to be done because if you're doing it wrong, you will end up needing surgery.
Yeah,
And you'll burn your voice out in one song if you're doing it incorrectly.
Isn't Aerosmith out of concert right now for some
Yes.
vocal?
Steve-
Is it
Steven
different?
Tyler fell.
Steven Tyler.
He fell and had a neck injury.
That's what it
before
was.
before the concert tour started. And then when they started like ramping up into it, he realized I can't hit these notes. I can't. And then when he got looked at by a doctor, they looked at his vocal cords. The doctor told him, "This is permanent. Like whatever you did when you fell and injured your throat, like this is not coming back."
Yeah, I mean your throat is your instrument as a singer.
Cancer.
So when
which sucks because Steven Tyler. I mean, fuck
it
Aerosmith.
it happens.
Cocaine
One of the most
Cowboys.
legendary
Yeah.
voices
I mean,
of all time.
Miley
Dream
Cyrus's
on.
voice is the way it is because of issues with singing and surgeries, and you're on the stage and you put a little more emotion versus technique, and then you burn out, you get nodes, you need surgery, and then that's why, and then you sound like you
Yeah,
got the thing up to your voice like this. Oh,
everybody
it's
gives
fucking
Miley
time.
so much shit though for that one interview where she's talking, and then they put the pug. Like, like, dude,
But she
I
still
love her
hits the
voice.
notes when she's singing.
I love her voice.
Yes.
I love her voice, and her cover of Metallica, "Nothing Else Matters," is one of my favorite covers
She
ever.
did.
She did great.
Yeah.
She was also on that. They did the live version of "Moth to the Flame."
Yeah, no, was that Gaga?
Oh, was that?
That was Lady Gaga. Maybe.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lady Gaga was the one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
with
You're
the
right.
yeah, she
They're
performed
the
on
same thing.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was
No,
Ice Cube.
sorry,
It was
that's
Ice Cube.
bad.
Same.
But also,
yeah.
when I saw
Don't
Gaga,
fuck with Ice Cube like that. That's my guy.
Why do you think I picked on Ice Cube right away? I know your affection towards the
You
Cube.
sure it wasn't Ice T? Are you
Okay,
getting?
buddy.
Are you getting them mixed
they're
up?
close. They're close. They're not quite the same. No,
Ice-T?
when I saw Gaga come out with Metallica, I was very critical at first when I saw her come out on stage, but then very quickly
Yep, you're
I was
right.
like, oh, she's actually performing.
Well, that's
Never
like
mind.
T-Pain did a cover of
War Pigs.
yeah.
Oh my
Amazing.
god!
Fucking-
Absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
Which and no auto tune, just to like turn and go. I'm not gonna hide behind that. That whole song was this.
Yeah.
It was outside of my genre, no auto tune, and wow.
Okay,
was
so
that
Even
amazing.
Ozzy commented on it.
Yeah.
Ozzy was like, "This is the best fucking version of War Pigs I've ever heard." He's like, "Why didn't you fuckers tell me you recorded it?" He's like, "I would have wanted in." Like, this is nuts.
man.
and that was done live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Which shows you T-Pain. Everyone thinks auto tune. They think T-Pain. He's a hell of a vocalist.
He was using
a hell of a vocalist.
auto-tune for the added texture. It had nothing to do with
His
incapability of
actual
singing.
Oh,
skills.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when you hear him sing live, he's actually pretty amazing. But like going back into like people singing outside of their genres, what do you think of this new trend that's been happening over the last couple of months, where like
Probably gonna hate it.
hip hop stars are or R&B singers are moving into country? I think Post Malone did a country album.
Yep.
And I also think Beyonce did a country
Beyonce
album.
did.
But Beyonce, I didn't feel it as much. Especially she covered Jolene. It was her own
Yeah.
like rendition of it, and like some people take it and they can run with it. I did not care for hers.
Yes.
But you said Post Malone. Post Malone, I feel is extremely talented and
Yeah.
can do a lot of things.
His
Yeah.
it did well. Same way with Jelly Roll. He leaning more into a country sound, it sounds normal and natural for him.
But you know,
Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse kind of did a different thing with All My Life and Jelly Roll. Their song's not that bad.
But Jelly Roll he's a very soulful singer.
Yes.
So like there's a whole genre of country music that is very soulful because that's actually the type of country music that I like. Yeah. I'm not into the twangy shit.
I call it
I
bar
really
mat
like
country.
that soulful, more
Country.
bluesy country.
Like you walk
I
into
get
a dive
into
bar.
that. I feel that.
Yeah.
kind of
But the
music
best
more.
part about Jelly Roll is I'm like, there's so much. When I used to play with Billy Craver, country.
Billy
music.
Craver?
Billy Craver.
I remember
There's
Craver.
so we'd go to all these country concerts, and I'm like, I see this guy in, tight jeans, and he's jacked, but he's not, he's so well kept, and you're singing songs about this country stuff, and I go, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jelly Roll, I'm like, I fucking believe you. This is your song.
Yeah,
Like,
that dude has a story.
Yeah, big boy covered in
means
tattoos.
more than the music.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I believe what you're saying. Or
Yeah. Well, there's a genre called stadium country. And it's like, it's a guy in tight jeans, nice shoes, dress shirt. He's got a hat on. It might have a logo on it, Ford or something. That motherfucker's never worked a day in his life.
Yeah,
He's
he
never
has-
picked up a shovel.
he
He's
has
never broke a rock.
Country-esque clothes, but it's like
Yeah.
a $2,000
His-
outfit. You're like,
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
you look like you're doing country, but is that Gucci?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Did you ever hear Bo Burnham's song, country song? Where he parodies
No, I have
country,
not.
or he parodies country. He says, I write songs for the people who do songs in the town that I'll never move to. Yeah. I write songs for the people who do jobs in the town that I'll never move to. That's the lyric of the song, and it's like he's right.
Yeah.
You're pandering.
guy's
You're
a
pandering
genius.
to this audience.
He's a brilliant artist,
Oh,
though.
my
I
God.
love Bo Burnham. I fucking love it.
And that's the sad part is like because it's comedy, you won't be taken seriously, but musically, he's very talented
Yeah.
at writing catchy ass songs
Yeah.
and then putting jokes over.
Oh,
the
it's
top.
another lyric in the song
incredible.
is I write songs about driving tractors from the comfort of my private jet. And it's like, well, yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
yes, you are.
You're literally geared towards that. You're like you were put up there to sing about trucks, beer, breakups, whatever that can apply to this group of people, but you don't do that.
Yes.
You're just a good vocalist.
Yeah.
You're a talented musician, but you're not part of that life.
And he's a comedy singer, correct?
Yeah.
Bill, right?
Well,
because
he's a comedian.
Comedian.
And he started leaning more into. I don't know if he's always done music. I've known him
He's
as a
always
comedian.
been talented because we started on YouTube. He could play, and that's his thing. He would play piano and he would sing.
He did
as a
that
kid.
whole one man show that was all music.
Yes.
Through COVID, and it was just fucking
he
brilliant.
was the guy with the
Inside.
puppet, right?
Inside.
He has the
Inside.
puppet that he talks through.
Inside was one of my fucker. No, that's what's his name? That's
Jeff Dunham.
The Kanye West epic song that he does about the Pringles can.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Like
It's
but
all auto-tune.
music that that was using
Yes.
auto tune.
I want to have a daughter, and that's all because he wants someone who's small enough to reach inside the brain.
That's fucking
it's
great.
so good.
That's so good.
He
And
raps
right
about Chipotle. I went
right
to
when you think he's
Chipotle.
about to drop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But look,
he
when
just
you
Goes
think
back
of
to the Pringles can.
when you think of comedy and music, like it has to be for me when I was growing up was the Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah.
When he first came out with I think it was the Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? And then that whole album, I was just like, this is fucking great.
Red hooded sweatshirt.
The
Hanukkah, marijuana.
the skits he would do were fucking hilarious.
great.
Like
They were great.
Toll Booth Willie.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to Wishka. $1.25, please. I fucking used to laugh so hard I was pissing myself. at those
The
things.
one where they're driving together and they keep each friend says something weird and they kick him out of the car.
Yes.
Yes.
Or like
See that guy's balls? I
Yeah,
wanted to lick him. Driving away. Don't judge me.
the guy that goes to the urinal, he starts taking a piss, and then the pressure starts getting higher and higher. And he's, oh man.
I'm gonna have to re-listen to that
They're
shit.
so
Man. I
good.
haven't heard it in
They're
such
so-
a long time.
Fatty McGee, like this guy walking up steps, and like he's having a fucking asthma attack. Dude, I used to cry. Like it was him and David Spade and like all his friends, and it was just ridiculous shit.
Yeah,
ridiculous
he's a
shit.
jewel in the industry. Like he's one of those guys who could do it all. Like sing, movies, comedy. Another guy like that would be Jeff
Nelson.
No, the Fox guy, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Nelson. Yeah. No, I agree.
Adam Sandler was just on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about how like he says I'm not that talented. He said I just never gave up.
Yeah.
He said ever since I was a kid in school, he's like he's like this is why I'm famous. He's like I told my friends in high school I was gonna be famous one day. He's like, and I just fucking couldn't lie. Yeah. He's like, I had to live up to it. Like he's
Right.
like. He said I went to comedy clubs. I bombed a lot. He's like, I wasn't that funny. He's like, I could play the musician, like the guitar and sing. He's like, but I wasn't that good. He's like, I just never fucking quit.
Yeah.
He's like, and I got the right opportunities.
Just kept working.
So he was there. He said he would bomb and people would fucking.
And I think being a generally funny and charismatic person kind of opened up doors for him too, because you see a lot of those guys. They're like when they bust through, and you're like, this is different. When Billy Madison came out, and we saw Billy Madison for the first time,
it was just funny.
And Happy Gilmore, you're like, why wasn't this genre of comedy available to us?
You see a grown man sitting in a bathtub and he's got fucking shampoo. Conditioner is better. It wasn't super talented, but you had never seen anything that dumb.
But
And
that's
he was
when
like, this is fucking great.
it was fucking
what
great.
makes you wonder is like,
the
I would
rules.
like to see the original script. And is there much of a script at all? Or do they just trust him to go, all right, we need a segue scene between this and this. And what do you think? And does he make it up on the spot? Because that seems very ad-lib. I don't see a writer going, oh, a conditioner is bad. I see him going.
Yeah.
I think it was his own production company.
Yeah.
So I think it got to the point where he managed to fund it to do his own thing.
Yes.
And that's what made him big was people were like, it's good. We like it.
And that's why his movies nowadays, the production company is literally called Happy Madison Productions.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's his two favorite movies.
Yes.
How about
Happy
when the
Gilmore and
dad
Bill
gives him a second chance?
Yeah.
And it's just, they just start playing that song, I'll tumble for you.
Yeah.
I'll tumble. They just do a whole scene of him dancing up the stairwell for no reason.
I like how Steve Buscemi is like a serial killer.
My God.
He was a kid that
So
did that
good.
at school. And like
With
he
the lipstick?
Yeah, he calls him and apologizes to him, and he's like fucking laying in bed putting lipstick on. He crosses Billy's name off the list, like holy fuck. And Billy's name was next.
Yeah.
It says people to kill. Like,
Dodge that bullet,
I don't
bro.
even know if you could make that movie today.
Dodge that
And then-
bullet.
Because the guy shoots the dude in the ass in a school.
Yes.
During
Yes.
a talent show. He comes in and shoots him in the ass cheek. I'm like, bro.
Me-
And he's like, boy, am I glad I called that guy.
that is so good. The girls and I just watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure again.
Another
Yes.
fucking
And
classic.
I'm like, it
Another
really
classic.
caught my attention when they start their speech and Billy the Kid walks up to introduce them, and everyone's kind of like eye rolling. He pulls out his pistol and shoots out one of the lights, and I'm like, right now, everyone, bro, head for the exits.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone stands up and cheers.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
It was a different time.
Definitely
Fucking
a different time.
I watched Waiting the other night with Ryan Reynolds. I had a bunch of
my
people
God.
I've never seen that.
I
Bro,
remember.
get-
that.
I've heard
Listen,
all
it's
about
so
it. Yeah.
Tonight. Get on Amazon
I was
Prime,
told not
watch
to.
it.
First
No,
go play
because they're like, you'll never want to eat in restaurants.
First go to
again.
Denny's.
No.
I was like,
First go to Denny's. Tell someone off. Eat. Then go home and watch Waiting.
Just listen. It does have some gross shit in it regarding food, but it's funny because I've actually seen horrible shit happen in restaurants. 'Cause I worked in
Me
restaurants,
too.
and it's funny because you know characters like that, but it's a comedy they couldn't make.
No.
Like they literally say words that you cannot fucking say today, and it's not even that old of a movie. It was 2003. And I'm like showing Sierra this. I'm like, this is when I was in high school. And just the shit, the game they play,
Yes.
where you trick people into looking at your balls. And when they look at your balls, you call them a homophobic slur and
Yes.
kick them in the ass,
Yes.
ridiculing them the whole time. The movie is unfucking
Right
believable.
now, you would go to jail for that.
Oh my God, you can't make that movie now.
Yes.
And
Right.
I was like, this movie is fucking hilarious. This is when you just made comedies.
Yes.
You just made it.
Yes.
Like Ryan Reynolds, Dane Cook went in his first movie.
Yes.
Nelson
Anna
gets me to look at
Faris.
his
I'm
balls.
like, what the fuck?
It was a fantastic cast.
amazing cast.
The Spanish guy. What's his?
The ugly Spanish
The
guy.
ugly Spanish guy. Oh, he's
ugly
fucking
as
great.
shit, and he plays Wednesday's dad.
Yes.
He plays
He plays
Oh,
Gomez.
yeah.
Gomez.
Yeah.
I'm
Gomez
gonna look him
Adams.
up. I'll look him up.
The beginning of the movie, there's a fucking party, and the party's it's one of those college. It's weird because it's like grown men partying with high school kids. Trying to get laid, and it's like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking and smoking cigarettes everywhere. It's like, because it's the time period we grew up in.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it cuts to the ugly Spanish guy, and he's like, if I knew it was going to be this kind of party, I'd have stuck my dick in the mashed potatoes. And I'm just like, why don't we...
Louis Guzman.
Yeah,
Louis
I'm
Guzman.
like, why don't we make movies like this anymore? That's fucking great.
It's great.
What the
Oh yes,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Was that before or after Van Wilder?
After.
It was
After.
It was
After.
around
So
the
Ryan
same
Reynolds,
timeline.
Ryan Reynolds was like, he was a star, and that's why he's put as like this asshole. But the whole movie, he's trying to bang underage girls.
Yes.
and I'm like, you cannot make this anymore.
No,
like
no,
he's
you
like
can't.
he's hitting on the fucking the hostess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, she's like, I'm gonna be 18 next week. He looks at her, he goes, we don't have much time then.
Oh my!
I'm like, wow, bro.
And
I'm
that
like,
is
wow.
where Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
decided this is who I am.
And well, it's fucked up because the entire time I'm watching this, my girlfriend, who's 10 years younger than me, is just looking at me like disgusted.
Well,
she's like,
actually-
"This is your movie? Like this is the movie you
This
wanted
is,
to watch?"
is that the guy you like?
Yeah.
Do you like him?
I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm like, this is Van Wilder was a fucking hero. When I watched that movie, I know he was a loser. I know he
Write that down.
He was a fucking hero. And who was Taj?
Yeah.
The Indian guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Van
I went
Wilder
to
is based on Bert Kreischer.
Really?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
He had an article in, I think it was a Sports Illustrated, as like the top party animal in like the top party school.
Yeah.
And they turned that into the movie.
Well, Van Wilder, that movie made Ryan Reynolds.
wild.
It made him a
Yeah.
fucking Hollywood legend. And it was like, just, oh my God, I just remember Taj's interview. He's just sitting there. He's like, I went to practice the American art of muff diving. I was like, oh my God. Like, he literally came to America and went to college because he wants to go down on a woman.
Fucking right.
He's like, I went to partake of a pink taco stand. I was like, oh my God.
I did love that they cast
He shits out the window for like $5.
Yeah.
the one of the guys from Animal House as the dad
Yes.
as well. I
Yes.
forget the actor's name, but that kind of worked.
Yes, yeah.
It's John Belushi drinking the entire bottle of Jack Daniels in Animal House.
Right.
Is one of the greatest fucking scenes
Yeah.
ever. He literally they're tearing apart the frat house. And he comes out, they took the bar, the whole fucking bar, and then they
Didn't
throw
he
him a bottle
actually
of Jack
do it?
Daniels. I think there was something else in there. If he really did that, then John Belushi is one of the greatest alcoholics.
Well, he was an animal. I
Well,
mean,
Oh,
In
yeah.
real life, yes.
how much
Notoriously.
cocaine
Yeah.
were they doing back then?
Well, there's a movie coming out about it, and I don't know if we can watch the trailer after this. There's a movie coming out about Saturday Night Live, the first season.
No shit.
About how hard it was for
Lord.
Lorne Michael to get it off the ground, and how crazy these kids were. Like,
Yeah.
because you had Chevy Chase, John Belushi, Andy Kaufman, all these fucking
Jesus.
guys trying to get this show going, and the network wanted him to fail.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't want a group of young kids from this like '70s rebel generation to do something.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
No, this is not gonna fucking.
He needs
fly.
to go back to his roots because Saturday Night Live has not been the same.
Every
in the
now
last
and then it'll
couple
do
of
something
years.
right, but you're right. It's
But
not.
again,
It hasn't been
It's-
like I used to tune in and love
Yeah.
it, and it was
Dan-
chaos.
Adam Sandler,
it was
Dana
funny.
Harvey,
Yeah.
fucking- oh my God,
Will
Chris
Farrell.
Farley.
Chris Farley could
was
just be
on it.
on
Chris
stage.
Farley.
and
Yes.
you're
You're gonna be in a van down by the river.
lay off me, I'm starving. To play an heavy set teenage girl.
They talk about Chris Farley, one of the comedians. I was listening to a podcast, and they were like, they could basically ask him to do anything for money, and he would do it.
Yep.
He shit out of a window from one of the offices of the boss. It might have been Lauren's office or some
Yeah.
shit like that. He shits out the window for like $5.
Our
Funny
family,
story. I saw a man
think-
shit. I saw a
I've
man
seen
shit
that
out of a
story.
hotel window in Arts Fest in Penn State back in 2012. The
good old days.
Yeah, you can't do that now either.
No. I tell you what, if you go to California, you can. Because when I went to
true.
California and I went down Hollywood Boulevard, and I'm gonna say this, I went to Hollywood thinking my first time in California, this is gonna be like some upscale, beautiful.
Nope.
Like I'm gonna
No,
get
no.
dressed up. I want to go walking down. This was like during COVID time.
What city
too.
were you in?
California. I don't
Hollywood.
know. Hollywood. Hollywood,
you're in
California.
LA?
Yeah, I went to LA.
Oh, yeah, no,
And
no,
I'm going down like the boulevard, you know, where the Walk of Stars and shit like that.
You think it's gonna be nice?
I'm driving around and I'm counting the bums on each block with my rental car. I'm like, I gotta find the block with the least amount of bums so
No.
that I can park.
You would need.
I
You
seen
would
a grown
need.
man shit on the street
Yeah.
as I'm driving
Oh,
by. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, he's shitting.
You stick around. Hey, stick around long enough, you'll see a grown man.
Yeah,
eat it.
yeah.
There is an app where people report where the human feces is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll
Yeah.
need direct government intervention to save California. It's. I
But-
mean, it's basically. It's basically like trying to fix like Juarez. Or
Yes,
some shit.
but
you
on-
can't fix that.
But
now.
on the same token, I'm hearing, I'm like, oh, let's go to Long Beach, right? This is where Snoop Dogg is from. This is gonna be ghetto as fuck. Long Beach was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Long Beach was fucking nice. I'm like, this ain't
Bro,
Long Beach.
Cameron
This is
Diaz.
bullshit.
Cameron Diaz used to buy weed from Snoop Dogg in high school. He didn't grow up that bad. Right. Like he may have been a gangster rapper, but no, he went to a nice school, bro.
I
he was still selling weed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey.
Cameron Diaz said it was bomb weed. She was like, it was fucking good. She's like, Snoop was selling good weed in high
He
school.
hasn't changed. He's still.
It had to be good because I think the quote was, "I think I bought weed from."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just don't remember.
Right.
Snoop Dogg has to be out of any hip hop artist. I know he's not the richest, blah blah. He's not doing like Dre, Jay-Z moves and shit. But he has to be the hip hop artist that's collecting the most side quests in this RPG
Yes.
of life.
Oh yeah.
He has done so much.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was he was the entire Olympics.
He's at the Olympics
yeah.
like
He was-
like a proud father watching everybody.
He
That
broke
shit was
a record.
great.
He broke a record for the most live Olympic events attended.
That's fucking
It's Snoop
great.
Dogg. He holds the record. He's been to all the events.
But why not?
Dressage?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing at a horse
Yeah.
event?
I
He's
mean,
dressed up in the
his-
outfit.
But his analysis
Oh,
is,
bro.
Yes, come on. His play-by-plays are fantastic.
He is the reason Sugar Sean O'Malley is as popular in MMA as he is. He commentated Dana White's Contender Series the night Sean O'Malley made his debut.
No shit.
And he knocked. Uriah Faber couldn't even talk. Snoop Dogg watched O'Malley knock the dude out, and he starts fucking screaming, "O'Malley!" Just so high. And like after that, like literally, Sean said his Instagram followers went up by like 180,000 overnight.
Jesus.
He said because of Snoop Dogg.
That's a Snoop Dogg bump.
Yeah, he did a Brewers game. Like,
now look at him
in the summer.
Now look at him.
And
champ.
even just for one inning was up in the booth, and it's just
Hilarious.
like his call is. It doesn't have to be educated. He's
Yes.
just so passionate about it. Just
yes.
a ground ball. What'd I tell you? I knew they were going to get that guy. I knew that's my boy.
That's what I'm saying.
And I love that they asked him. They're like, "So are you like a Brewers fan?" He's like, "I
No.
love the sport."
No,
he goes,
yeah.
"I like the people. I'm rooting for everyone." And
That's
I'm
what's
like,
up.
And you got to
that's
respect
perfect.
that. You got to
Exactly.
respect that no matter where you're from, no matter what you believe, you got to respect that.
Wouldn't you like Snoop Dogg to be like your GPS voice?
Oh, yeah.
Turn left right here, dog. Oh shit, you missed it.
At one point,
You missed that left.
Oh, you missed that shit.
What do you have?
I would pay money for that.
Garmin and Android at one point had the ability to do that with certain voices, but they just sunsetted eventually. Not enough people were subscribing, or
We didn't know about it.
the cost of paying to be allowed to keep using their voices. But Sam Jackson was an option that was for GPS
Yeah.
as well.
That would be
Samuel
great.
Jackson and Morgan Freeman should literally just sell their voices. For the rest of their
Gladys
life. Like,
from Portal.
oh, wow.
It would give you wrong directions, but you could turn it on. It would give you directions.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Damn. No, but I think about that. That would be great.
Snoop looks like a giant insect. He's like tall and ganky. His eyes are buggling out of his head, but like it's like I don't know.
He's living his best
said
life.
He's an American. He's an American icon.
He
really
is. He is.
He could do no wrong right now.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip of him practicing the powerlifting thing?
No.
With just the bar. I mean, he's so tall and lanky
so-
too.
yeah,
he goes like this.
it's
and,
probably
you know,
heavy
he
for him.
splits the legs apart as he like throws his arms. It looks so hilarious, and I'm like, I just
And you
want to
know
hug
he
him.
doesn't have
It's
the lung
just
capacity
awesome.
for that.
No.
His lungs
No,
are
it
fucking
was just
shot.
the bar. It was just the bar. It was the
If
technique.
if you would get high, if you took like if you scraped the inside of Snoop's lungs and just took a sniff of it, you'd get high. instantly.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be layers of THC,
Oh, yeah.
like just caked on there.
They need to do a study on him because the amount of weed that he has smoked.
Everybody says no one can smoke with Snoop.
Snoop.
Joe Rogan, when Joe Rogan tells you don't get
Yeah.
high with Snoop, like he will.
I
Like, you
believe
can't-
Snoop said there was only one person that outsmoked him. Oh, and I can't remember.
What?
I
It has
can't
to be
remember
Be
who it
Real
is.
from Cypress Hill.
Who the fuck outsmoked Snoop?
Be Real
Oh,
from
I'm
Cypress
Googling.
Hill, bro.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
look it up because I
Who
know
in the fuck
it was something I had
outsmokes-
seen
going
recently,
out
and he's
like
like,
that.
"That's the only person that's ever."
Unless it
outsmoked
was a
him.
new person, and the other person that they say smokes a lot of weed is Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa's huge on being
in
weed
concert
smoker.
live. Snoop outsmokes Wiz Khalifa.
He did. Okay,
There's a
so
video
then
of
boom.
it. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I'm just trying to make an educated guess. But if I had to put my money on, it's either Cheech or Chong or Be Real from Cypress Hill.
It might be Tommy Chong.
Yeah,
Tommy,
it would be
Tommy Chong's
one-
definitely in the running.
Yeah.
It'd be one of those motherfuckers right there. Or, you know what? The legendary Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
I mean, that
Willie?
motherfucker's smoking out of apples and shit, right?
there's a song. Never smoke weed with Willie again.
That's right.
Oh, Snoop Dogg said the only person who can outsmoke him is Willie Nelson.
Fucking right. Yeah, last minute. Yeah, for the poll.
He said that on the Tonight Show. He said the only person that ever outsmoked
Fucking
me
right.
in my entire
There we
life was
go.
Willie Nelson.
Yes, yes.
And Willie's just laid back, man.
Willie's got to be like, what, 130 years
Can't
old
do
right
anything
now?
but lay back.
The only thing keeping Willie alive is marijuana.
Yes.
If you take it from him, he's dead. He's probably powered by it
What's
right now.
the Jimmy Buffett? Is alive still?
No, he
No,
passed
he
away.
passed.
Rest in peace.
There was this thing speaking about like legendary characters to who
He
they
hated
were.
margaritas, by the way.
Yes. So Jimmy Buffett is in Jurassic Park for all of
giving this
5
all the
seconds, and the only thing that Jimmy Buffett is doing, he's picking up 2 drinks. The dinosaur's coming,
yes.
and he's running away with the drinks. In
He
his
was a
hand.
fan. He was a fan of this franchise he wanted to be in.
That was
Fucking
that was
right.
his idea, I believe.
Yeah.
Didn't he approach him with that idea?
I
He's
think
like,
that's
could-
great. I think
And
that's
I
great.
remember
And he
seeing
regretted
that.
it the rest of his life. In interviews, he's like, I don't actually like margaritas, but people see me out and they keep buying me
Wait,
margaritas.
Oh, I thought it was
Oh,
the pina
man.
colada guy.
Well,
that he said, if you like pina
He
colada.
hates no, he's the
colada.
Margaritaville guy.
I'm pretty
He's
sure
the
it was-
Margaritaville.
I'm saying I thought that okay, I have
probably
not heard
both.
that about Jimmy
It's
Buffett.
probably both.
Yeah,
Would you like to?
But
Would
no,
you like
the
to look it
pina
up,
colada
Ian?
guy, yeah.
So my Jarvis.
He hates pina colada.
yeah.
I didn't know that about Jimmy
How do
Buffett.
I even Google this?
Does Jimmy
Jimmy Buffett like margaritas?
Does Jimmy Buffett hate margaritas?
Why do you got to go to like old timey 1960s voice?
That was a little bit of an Adam Sandler there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
What's the deliberation here?
No, he says he doesn't really like him anymore. He said he said this in 2000, early before he died. When did Jimmy die? 2023, right?
Yeah, it was
So
like
in 2023,
last
this quote is actually from. He says margaritas have gotten too sweet. He's like, it's getting ridiculous out there. He's like, I just like lime juice and a little sugar. He said, I even heard of a redneck margarita. He's like, one that features Mountain Dew and bad tequila. He's like, that's way too far. I would never do that.
That's the type of shit that they would put in a country song, and the guy never drank it once.
Yeah.
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 All right, so guys, I wanted to end on this.
We're ending? All right.
We were talking about prior to the podcast songs that you listened to that necessarily didn't give you the message. Maybe when you were younger, you're listening to a song, and now as an older adult, you're like, oh, that was about this, or a song that you listen to and you're bopping your head to, and you don't realize it's about that. And to go with what I found the other day that blew my mind, it's an old reggae song. It's called Murder, She Wrote. You know, Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that the song is about, if you had to guess?
Angela Lansbury.
An old lady solving crime?
Yeah, old lady solving crime.
Incorrect.
I only know the chorus.
So the
yeah.
song
my
is
babysitter
legitimately
watched that show.
about a girl who is a slut who has abortions on the regular. And Murder, She Wrote is about the
my
neighborhood
So
fight.
it's a pro-life anthem.
It's a pro-life
Okay,
anthem.
all right,
Murder,
cool.
She Wrote.
Wow.
Murder, She Wrote. So, like, when you listen to it, he's like, now you heard about this girl. Her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of rose.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if I
okay.
ever tell you about Maxine, you would have say, I don't know what to know. But Murder, She Wrote. But then going down the line, he goes
Them
into
Jamaicans.
it. Yeah. And that's what it was. Like, you know, there's a little slang in there, so you're not quite hearing everything that they're saying. But she's like, now every middle of the year, this girl go have an abortion. Fitty, coolie, white man, Indian, no seeking an infant. Like, yo, he goes into this whole thing and calls her a pram and all of these things, which is slang for, like, she's a little thought, a little hoe bag.
Is that like blood
that has
clot?
abortion.
Or
Blood
mama clot?
Yeah,
Or
bro.
pussy clot?
So I love it.
That
because
is a
Jamaican swear word.
very well done.
Yes.
I'm shocked.
Now go back and listen to it, and you'll be like, oh, shit. And
Yeah.
then you can hear when he's going in on it. And you're
Now
like, oh, shit.
all our pro-choice listeners are not going to listen to the song anymore. Way to go, Nelson.
Thank you.
Way to get political.
What about you guys? Yeah,
Oh.
you guys got any songs come to mind that...
There's a group, Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, yeah.
Almost
Yes.
all of their songs are very happy and upbeat. But when you actually read the lyrics about the songs, it's about like war and murder and death.
Happy things.
Yeah, there's a song they have called 10 Speed, which
Vikings
is about
Paradise.
a bicycle.
Oh.
Now, it's the big chunk of the song is about a writer who has writer's block, who can't finish his story, and the bicycle is a demon. And the bicycle is trying to convince him to go kill the woman he loves so that he can have the experience of killing so he could finish the murder mystery thing that he's like writing or whatever. And it doesn't sound like that until you start reading the lyrics and going through and like you got to flip through their comic book. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
This is why I don't ride
Bike
bikes.
is talking to him.
This is why I don't ride bikes. This is why I don't ride bikes.
Ladies, oh, that's why you don't ride.
Yeah.
Ladies, as you fucking gag on a donut. Man just ate half that donut. Like, that's why I don't ride bikes.
Fuck you. God damn it.
You keep eating donuts like that, we'll talk.
I'll have to ride 2 bikes.
Sorry. Take the seat off, please.
Oh, that's pretty good. Matt, what about you? Anything? Or Ian? Anybody?
I mean, to me, the one that stands out, and to this day, when I ask people what the fuck this song is about, I get multiple answers. I get a mental institution. I get drug rehab. I get a parallel universe. Hotel California by the Eagles. Everyone, we listen to the songs, you break the lyrics down, you listen to what the fuck they're talking about, and people have different opinions. You'll talk to people from different walks of life, different views of the song, and they'll tell you something different. And the Eagles never told anyone. They never fucking told anyone what the
that's
song was
genius.
about.
That's genius because allow the audience to interpret the music as they want to. It leaves it for a broader audience.
I like to envision that he's in hell. That's me.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. That's a good one.
You can't ever figure out what the hell he's talking about. It's just one of those. It's like Black Hole Sun by
I love Black Hole Sun.
Soundgarden. Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally said everyone analyzed that song and broke it down and was like, oh, it means this, it means this. And then when they asked Cornell before he died, he was like, it's about nothing. He's like, we wrote that song when we were high. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
He's like, people can interpret it however they want.
It's
He's like,
such a good song.
Yeah.
I almost hate that answer versus
Black Hole Sun.
I don't want to tell you. I'd rather an artist say, I don't want to tell you than it's about nothing. Because that's what fucked me up with Lost. When I was watching Lost and I'm like 4 seasons in and then the writer's like, we don't even know where the show's going. Or I'm like, what?
To be fair.
I invested 4 years of my life in this bullshit and you don't know what the fuck you're writing towards?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Eagles made music in like the 60s and early 70s when all your music was fueled by drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you had bands like, Cream coming out with songs like In a White Room with Black Hair. It's like, what the fuck are you, what?
Yeah. But that's clearly drug-fueled music.
Yeah. Smoke on the Water, Fire in the Sky. Like these are just songs that
Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the Toadies, Possum Kingdom.
Ooh.
That's a song that you kind of just rock along with. But I mean, he's talking about raping and killing someone behind a boathouse.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, don't be. It sounds like he's wooing a girl. Don't be afraid. I don't mean to scare you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
help me, Jesus. But then at the end, do you want to die?
Do you want to die?
Do you want to die?
That's dark.
That's a dark fucking song.
Right.
That's
that
dark.
song's
Holy
what,
shit,
what
Matt.
did he say inspired this love ballad?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Or
He's like every time I pull into McDonald's,
I think
and I get an ice cream.
I just really like Boathouse. I'm a big fan
They
of
say
Boathouse.
that the machine is broken. Somebody's paying for this shit.
Kurt Cobain literally sang a song, Rape Me, My Friend.
Yeah, right. But that's different, right? Because if you're saying rape me or I want to kill and rape you, those are vastly different
and you can't rape the willing.
interpretations.
Yeah, you can.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Mortal Technique, Dance with the Devil. That song's dark as fuck.
Yes.
Korn, what is the song? Daddy from their first album. That's about him getting abused.
Yeah.
And he outright, it's not even like kind of sort of hidden.
Yes.
Listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then the whole end part of the song, you're like, this is fucking uncomfortable.
I'm going to be seeing Korn live on September 14th.
They're fantastic live.
I can't wait. They're coming September 14th. I'll be there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to see that again.
Korn-
I missed him with Allison
Korn,
Chains a couple
Gojira,
years
and
ago.
Spirit Box.
Oh, let's go.
And Gojira's coming off their Olympic opening ceremony show. So
One of my favorite quotes. We went to the Country Music Hall of Fame in Tennessee, and on the wall, I can't remember who said it, but because as we were discussing right before we started, and talking about this, it brought to mind the quote that says, "In the good times you listen to the music, in the hard times you listen to the words."
Yes.
And I really feel like that has hit home to me in multiple times in my life, but also I would say that line is so true for how I would even, a white kid from, like a kind of a rural but suburban area would get into hip hop.
Yes.
It's like all these amazing beats, like Dre with the, the great beat, but like the music itself was amazing. And that's what strapped me in to listen. I'm like, all right, now tell me what you have to say, And so I really think that was the music is the vehicle to expose multiple people to, people who would never listen to the life experience of a black male in downtown LA or something. That
what got me into rap was "Gangster's Paradise" by Coolio.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
first
great song.
Yeah,
For me, it was Nas.
yeah.
It was written. That album, I can't say that it was one song. It was just, it blew my mind because it took, like I always was around hip hop, but it was kind of like simple and playful. But when Nas kind of jumped onto the scene and it was like early 90s, I was in junior high school, I think. I was like, holy shit, this is like lyrical. It's poetic. It was deep thought into it. And that drew me into hip hop. And then I went back and I started listening to the masters that I didn't know about because they weren't as mainstream, like the Rakims, Kool and the Gang, like these guys that were back there that was like
the people that are like
KRS-One,
KRS-One that no
yes.
one never gets credit outside of the community.
Yeah, because what was playing on the radio was like cookie cutter shit. But I was like, there's lyricism, there's like storytelling.
Yep.
That's what I fell in love with. That's why I still love to like Too Short. He's vulgar as fuck, But his storytelling, like he painted a picture of like what his lifestyle as a pimp, growing up in the hood. This was his reality, or at the very least, the reality of the people around him that he's telling in storytale form.
I was talking about that with Mia last night, where I was like, we got on songwriting topic like, in between bands, and I was like, imagine the balls that all those guys had, that if they were just upset about something at that moment or a person, that they would just go in and record it and tell you about it, versus like thinking, okay, well, this won't last forever. You know, this beef might not last forever. But but that's what makes them so honest, is like, again, I believe you, because why else would you be saying it? You're upset with Dan Quayle. Right. You know, like, I mean, I go back to Ice Cube, and he's like picking on Dan Quayle and David Dukes and stuff with what's going on right then. I'm like, those people are at this point well gone. Yes. The situation is over. But that's when I believe how mad you are, that you're just like, I'm going in and I'm telling you about this situation.
Well, that's why I think artists, as shitty as they are to me, like a Taylor Swift, she resonates with so many people. She's simple, but she tells her story as it is, and people gravitate towards that, especially like the younger women. Like,
her concerts are like religious events.
Yeah, they love her for the reason that she is speaking like her truth, but doing it in song form, and people resonate with that. Like, that's why Jelly Roll, I think he blew up so quickly. When, like what you said, when you listen to him, his passion is in the music behind the lyrics.
It feels very...
Somebody isn't writing
Oliver
it for him.
Anthony,
He's
who came
doing
out of
it.
nowhere recently.
Yeah.
People listen to it and they're like, this feels so honest.
A lot of people pissed off at the government.
Yeah. No, I would say for me, because it was high school. It was at Carlos's house. We were lifting weights, and we had a cassette tape. It was his cousin. We called him Colonel. It was his workout mix.
Yes.
And it was Disturbed, and it was Godsmack, and it was Stained, and it was just like the first song on was Stupefy. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
I like this. Where's more of this?
Yeah. Another song that you guys don't know that is about something that you think... he's a Korean pop star.
Oh, I know.
It's Gangnam Style. You know what Gangnam Style is about? It's about bestiality.
It is called the horse dance.
Yes, that's why he's
I believe it's actually it's almost their version of Oliver Anthony.
God.
It's talking about the rich district in
that's actually
Korea.
what it's about.
and it's talking about them.
I bet hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, you guys were like, what?
Yeah.
Bestiality.
I was like, wow, we all celebrated.
Yeah. Everybody's up there, Gangnam Style. Yeah, you're having sex with animals, bro. Did you like that shit?
The guy that sings that fucking song, that Korean pop star,
He's still singing it to this day.
Did you ever see how much energy he puts into his concerts?
Oh, it's insane.
He gets fucking, like, when he goes on the stage, he gets launched.
Yeah.
Out of the fucking thing. He gets fired like
He does like the Rey
Spider-Man.
Mysterio launch from under the stage.
That
Good for
motherfucker
him.
goes high too.
Yes.
He gets launched. I'm like, oh, his knees.
If you're gonna have one song and you're gonna sing it the best, I mean, you might as well.
Have you seen the show that Pink does, where she's on the harness,
She is
flying through the goddamn stadium while singing?
her fitness regimen, like that she does, is all aerial silks because of what she does during a concert. She wants to be able to be comfortable up there because she is suspended. And you're gonna see an Owen Hart if that thing is wrong.
Yeah, man. God damn, that's torque. And on that note, thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast.
Owen Hart. He fell on his death. Remember?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't know who Owen Hart is,
Remember? He was the blue.
look it up.
The blue meanie or something.
The blue beetle or
Beetle?
the blue
something.
Damn, now we're doing this dead man no justice.
I just
here.
remember his head bouncing off the turnbuckle. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it was live on TV.
It was live.
Oh,
yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. You can't find the video now, but I remember.
Was it TV or was it a pay-per-view?
It was TV.
Okay.
And
He was supposed to lower
Didn't
into the
Bischoff
ring.
come on and a bunch of wasn't
It was. I think it was a Monday Night Raw. It was Bret Hart's
they were
brother.
in there, weren't they announcing it?
Yeah,
And
I remember Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler just being like, before we went to commercial, there was a traffic
Something went terribly wrong.
They had to backtrack hard.
And I'm trying to think of the wrestler who was in the background, like Like, I mean,
Bro, I
he was
remember
in
his head.
shock. I
It was
thought
wild.
Bro, I remember his head hitting the turnbuckle.
Yeah,
I was a kid.
The
I was
only
like,
other
holy
time I've
fuck.
seen like the wrestling world as crazy as it was when Owen Hart died was when Benoit died.
Yeah.
Benoit, yeah.
That shit was crazy. And then when they found out what actually happened, it fucking blew
they went,
my mind.
It was like the next day it was a live taping. They just went hard with like, oh wow, he died, and then like the next day they're like, oh,
retract,
Yeah.
erase. They removed him from the
that
records.
dude's gone.
Hey,
It's crazy.
His son never tapped.
Oh, good kid though.
Fuck.
I saw a shirt.
Why do I do this show?
I saw
He's like, it was going so good.
I saw a
It
shirt.
was going so good.
I saw
was
it.
gonna tell my friends to listen. We didn't do
Every time I'm like, every time I'm like, I'll do a show and I can promote it, and then I'm like, nope, can't.
One of the most fucked up shirts I've ever seen. It was Chris Benoit's son. Like it was a picture. It was like a school picture or something. On the shirt, it said like Ryan Benoit never tapped. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh my
Like that shit is so dark. That kid got fucking strangled to death.